So I think that's the key focus area here of saying, once you know the concept, there's very little concept risk left. Who's going to do the best job at execution? And hence, teams that are experienced, not just in other internet businesses, but just in other businesses, teams that are experienced with studying consumers and being able to design and market their products accordingly. I think those are teams that we are looking for. The good news is there is enough that is different about India, right? So concept arbitrage is just one of the lenses that we look at, but there is enough going on here which is very different from what is happening anywhere else in the world. And I've listed some of those factors down here, not necessarily exhaustive, but some of the more significant ones that you see. One, mobile penetration is far higher than internet penetration, right? We are probably one of the very few markets where this is true at the scale that it is, 1:10 today. Between mobile penetration and internet penetration, and that has a huge impact on how you design your services. Not every aspect of mobile services is translatable to the web and vice versa, but I think there are very strong interlinkages between the two media. Just to take somewhat trivial examples, subscription of services, notification of alerts, and so on, are things that are very easily extendable onto the mobile phone. And more and more of this is going to happen. I think what's required partially there is to move beyond the mobile web mindset and get more entrenched into the mobile voice and SMS mindset. Again, a lot of innovation that's happening globally on these platforms is around the mobile web, right? Not necessarily around voice and SMS. And I think that those are areas where Indian companies can lead the charge because we've got a user base that responds to that. I think the second big aspect is that unlike the Western markets where there was consumption growth in the 1960s and 70s, and then internet came in when large markets already existed, in India these markets are getting created as internet is happening. So very often you don't have big incumbents to displace. Right? So if you say, okay, personal finance, who's the big wealth manager today? Right? There's none. Right? If you look at stock brokering, India started the discount stockbroking, right? Because stockbroking wasn't a big business in 1990 when internet wasn't there. So the fact that some of these some markets are coming into place at the same time that the internet is coming into place, I think represents a huge opportunity for all of us. We don't have to displace big boys, right? We are going to be the big boys of tomorrow. Today, the largest travel agency in the world in India is an online one. The largest job player in the country is an online one. And this is not true in the Western world. In spite of the fact that there are large online businesses, the largest players in those industries continue to be offline. Right? In India, you have a real bet of building online businesses that are going to be leaders in their industry categories, not just in online categories. Third, the demographic curve is tilted towards younger population, right? Which means that we're going to need applications that are more and more tuned to that audience. Think college goers, think school kids. 2 of the top 10 social networks in the US, monetized social networks in the US, are kids networks. Right? We've got a huge kids market, right? And you've got a huge kids market with parents who are willing to pay, right? But very little innovation on that side, right? So you're, as an entrepreneur, you're always looking for these usage monetization arbitrages. Right? Social media is a great one, but huge usage, very low monetization. It's a marketer's dream, right? The problem is we don't know how to service it. Look at video exposures, huge media, very low monetization, same opportunity, same challenge. And I would argue that in a lot of these markets, like kids market in the Indian context, you've got a similar, access to monetization arbitrage. My kids are getting to them Club Penguin and paying in US dollars to get access to that site. Why? Right. And I live in a section of this NCR called Gurgaon, and I would reckon there are at least 500,000 parents like myself who are in a position to pay, whose kids have